A sacred moment arrived, not by accident, but by the hand of the Creator. The earth was still, and the winds were quiet, as the voice of the Spirit broke through the silence. This was no ordinary occurrence. It was a divine interruption, a message sent with purpose. The elders spoke of times like these, when the Creator himself called upon the people, not by chance but through the whisper of the winds, the rustle of the leaves, and the steady beat of the heart. In this moment, the listener was chosen. The Creator had heard their cries, seen their struggles, and now, in his perfect timing, he spoke. It was not for them to question how or why this message had come. It was for them to listen, to trust, and to walk forward in faith. The path ahead was uncertain, but with the Creator's guidance, every step would be a step toward truth, healing, and the fulfillment. The winds whispered through the tall pines, carrying with them the voice of the Creator. The listener, standing at the edge of the river, had longed for a sign. Their heart was heavy with unanswered questions, their spirit tired from seeking clarity in the chaos of life. With each passing day, doubt clouded their vision, and they wondered if the Creator was still listening, if the path they walked was still the one he had chosen. The river flowed endlessly, its waters deep and mysterious, much like the path ahead. And then, as the sun dipped behind the mountains, a voice broke through the silencia, a voice strong yet tender, like the steady beat of a drum. "I hear your prayers, child," the Creator spoke. "I know your heart, and I understand your struggles. Your search for signs, your yearning for clarity has not gone unnoticed. You have asked, and I answer." The words flowed like the river itself, clear and purposeful, carrying the weight of divine assurance. The listener felt a warmth in their chest, as if the Spirit had wrapped them in a blanket of comfort. "You need not search any longer," the Creator continued. "I am here, not as a distant thought or a fleeting presence, but as the guide who walks beside you. Trust in my guidance, for it is not your understanding that will lead you, but my wisdom. The path may seem unclear, and the journey uncertain, but remember this: when I guide, there is no need for fear. Trust not in your own strength, but in the strength I provide." The listener closed their eyes, feeling the weight of these words settle within their soul. The wind carried the Creator's voice once more, urging them to look not to their own understanding, but to trust in the divine wisdom that flowed through all things. "You are not alone," the Creator whispered. "I walk with you in every step, through every storm, and in every quiet moment. Look not for signs in the sky or in the world around you. My signs are in your heart, in the very breath you take. Trust that I am always with you, guiding, protecting, and loving you with a love that knows no end." The listener stood still, the weight of these words filling them with a quiet peace. They had been searching for something external, for a sign to prove the Creator's presence, but now they realized that the true sign had always been within them. It was not the path they had imagined, but the one that had been given to them from the start. With a renewed sense of trust, they turned their gaze forward, ready to follow the Creator's guidance wherever it may lead. The moon hung high in the night sky, its pale light casting a glow over the land. The listener stood at the foot of the mountains, where the land stretched into the unknown. They had come so far, but the path ahead was obscured by thick fog, and uncertainty clung to their every step. They had journeyed through valleys of despair and climbed the steepest hills, yet still, the road before them was unclear. The world around them seemed silent, but deep within their spirit, a voice stirred a call, soft yet firm. "Walk by faith, child." The Creator's voice echoed through the stillness, like a drumbeat far in the distance, its rhythm calling them to move forward. "The path before you is not one of sight, but one of trust. Trust in me, for I am your guide. Trust in the wisdom I place in your heart, for it is the way, the truth, and the light in your darkness." The listener's heart quickened, the words stirring something deep inside them. The world may have been shrouded in fog, but in that moment, they knew the Creator had spoken, and his words were a lantern in the night. "I am your protector," the voice continued, "your shield against the storms that come. You have walked through the darkness, through times of uncertainty, but I have always been beside you. When the shadows grow long and the night grows cold, I will be the fire that warms you. I will be the hand that lifts you up when you fall. You do not walk alone. Trust in my presence, for I am the defender of your heart." The listener felt a surge of comfort flood their soul. as if the Creator's words wrapped around them like a cloak of warmth, a promise that no matter how the road ahead twisted, they would not walk it alone. The fog still hung heavy, but now the listener felt a new strength rise within them. The Creator had called them not to rely on their own sight, not to trust in the fleeting, often unclear view of the world, but to walk by faith. Faith in the Creator's promises, faith in the unseen forces that guided their every step, faith in the sacred journey that had been laid out for them. The road was still shrouded in mystery, but the Creator has shown them the way not with the eyes of the body, but with the eyes of the spirit, with the understanding of the heart. You do not need to see the whole path, the Creator continued. You need only to take the next step, with faith in my guidance. Each step you take in trust will reveal the next, and the next, until you have walked the whole of the journey. The way will not always be easy, and there will be times when the fog seems impenetrable, but I am with you. I will not let you fall. Trust in me, and you will find that the very ground beneath your feet is solid, for I have made it so. The listener closed their eyes, taking in the Creator's words. The weight of the journey they had undertaken was heavy, but now they felt a new lightness, a peace that settled deep within. They did not need to know what the future held, nor the twists and turns that lay ahead. The Creator had promised to lead them, to guide them, to protect them through it all, and that was enough. They felt a gentle tug in their heart, urging them forward, urging them to trust, to take that next step. Remember, child, the Creator's voice whispered, you are never without direction. Even in the moments of silence, when you feel lost and alone, I am there. I am the quiet voice in your heart, the strength in your bones, the fire in your spirit. Walk by faith, and you will see my works unfold in your life. Trust in me, and you will know peace that surpasses all understanding. With each word, the fog seemed to lift ever so slightly, and the listener felt the weight of their fears melt away. They had always searched for certainty, for the answers to the questions that echoed in their mind, but now they understood that the journey was not about having all the answers. It was about trusting the one who held them, the one who saw what they could not see, the one who knew the path even when it was hidden from view. The road ahead was still uncertain, the fog still heavy, but the listener took the first step, then the next, and the next. They did not need to see the end of the path, for they knew the Creator was walking with them. They trusted in the promise that He would guide them, protect them, and defend them every step of the way. And as they walked forward in faith, the world seemed to open up before them, not in a blaze of light, but in the quiet, steady glow of a path made clear by trust and love. The fire crackled and danced in the center of the circle, its warmth filling the night air, and the listener sat quietly beside it, feeling the weight of the world upon their shoulders. The journey had been long, the path filled with obstacles that seemed to appear without warning. They had prayed for clarity, for a sign that the Creator was with them, guiding them through the storms. But the road ahead had not been easy, and it had not always made sense. Doors had closed, and paths had turned in unexpected directions, leaving them questioning the meaning behind it all. Then, in the quiet of the night, a voice spoke, a soft but powerful voice, like the wind that whispers through the trees. My child, the Creator's voice echoed. I know you are troubled. You seek answers, and you long to understand the road ahead. But know this, my ways are not always the ways of the mind. What may seem like confusion to you is, in truth, the shaping of your heart. The listener closed their eyes, feeling the words penetrate their very soul. The journey they had walked was not one of simple answers, but one that required trust beyond understanding. You have encountered closed doors, paths that have seemed blocked, and moments of silence where you expected answers. But these, my child, are not signs of defeat. They are my way of leading you closer to where I need you to be. I move not always through open doors, but often through the closed ones. I shift your direction when you cannot see the danger that lies ahead. Trust in the disruptions, for they are my hand at work. When the road turns in ways you did not expect, know that it is not an accident. It is my guidance, moving you to a safer place, even when you cannot see it. The listener felt a shiver run through them as the wind picked up, swirling around the circle. The voice of the Creator seemed to be carried in the very air, filling the space with a deep sense of peace. There are times when the door you wish to walk through is not the door meant for you. There are moments when the road you want to travel is not the one I have laid out for you. But this is not a punishment, my child. This is close the doors that will lead you into harm, and I open those that will lead you to your true purpose." The listeners sat silently, taking in the words. They had felt frustrated by the closed doors, the unanswered prayers, the feeling that they were being held back. But now, as the Creator spoke, they understood. The Creator was not withholding from them. He was redirecting them, guiding them through what they could not yet see. "You do not need to understand every step of the way," the Creator continued. "You need only to trust that I am with you, leading you, even in the darkness. The direction may not always make sense to the mind, but it will move your heart in the right place. When I close a door, it is because I have a better one waiting for you, even if you cannot yet imagine it." The night grew quiet again, and the listener felt a deep sense of peace settle over them. They had been so focused on the doors that were closed, on the paths that seemed to end, that they had forgotten to look for the open doors, the ones the Creator had prepared for them. "I am not a God of confusion," the Creator's voice continued. "I am a God of purpose. I am working behind the scenes, even when you cannot see it. Trust in my timing, for I will reveal what is meant for you when the time is right." The listener took a deep breath, feeling the weight of their worries lift from their shoulders. The road ahead was still unclear, and the path was not always straight, but they now understood that the Creator was with them, guiding them through the unknown. They no longer needed to see the whole picture or understand every detail. They needed only to trust in the Creator's plan, to know that even when doors closed and paths shifted, it was all part of a greater purpose. "Do not fear the unknown," the Creator whispered. "Do not fear the closed doors or the detours. I am leading you where you need to be. Trust in me and you will find the way. I am with you always, even in the silence, even in the closed doors, even in the disruptions. I am the way, and you are never lost as long as you walk with me." With these final words, the listener stood and looked up at the sky, the stars shining bright above them. They knew that the journey was far from over, but they felt a deep sense of peace in their heart. The Creator was with them, and that was all they needed to know. The road ahead may not always make sense, but they will walk it with faith, trusting that each step, no matter how uncertain, was part of the Creator's plan. And with each step, they would grow closer to the purpose they were meant to fulfill. The sun was setting low behind the mountains, casting a warm golden light over the land. The listener sat by the fire, staring into the dancing flames, feeling the weight of their past pressing upon their heart. The memories of past mistakes, of brokenness and pain, seemed to follow them like shadows. They had tried to move forward, but the echoes of their past kept calling them back, reminding them of their failures, their shortcomings, and the hurt they had caused. It was hard to shake the feeling that they were defined by what had happened to them, by the wrong turns they had taken, by the mistakes they had made. But in the quiet of the evening, as the wind whispered through the trees, the voice of the Creator spoke, a gentle, steady voice that filled the air with peace. "My child," the Creator said, "you are not defined by your past. You are not defined by your mistakes or your pain. You are defined by the love I have for you, by the purpose I have placed within your heart." The words felt like a balm to the listener's soul, soothing the wounds that had been festering for so long. For the first time in a long while, they felt a glimmer of hope, a light that began to pierce through darkness of their past. "You have carried the weight of your past for too long," the Creator continued, "but I did not create you to be bound by your past. I created you for a purpose greater than the mistakes you have made. Your worth is not found in your failures, nor in the hurts you have experienced. Your worth is found in the love I have for you, in the calling I have placed upon your life. You are mine, and that is what defines you." The listener's heart stirred as they listened, a wave of relief washing over them. They had been carrying the burden of their past for so long, but now they felt the Creator's words break through, offering them the freedom they had been seeking. "Do not let your past control you," the Creator urged. "I have already washed away your sins, already healed your wounds. What matters is not what has happened, but what you do now. You are not the sum of your past. You are the sum of my love, my grace, and the purpose I have for you. The past is gone, and the future is still before you. Walk in the freedom I have given you, and do not let anything from your past hold you back." The listener's heart raced with the truth of these words. It felt as if a weight had been lifted, as if the chains that had held them captive for so long had been broken. They were not their mistakes. They were not their failures. They were loved. They were free. The Creator's voice continued, soft yet powerful. I have called you by name. I have set you apart for a purpose that is greater than anything you could have imagined. The world may try to define you by your mistakes, by the pain you've carried, but I define you by my love for you. And my love is not limited by time, by space, or by anything in this world. My love is eternal, and it is the foundation upon which you stand. The listener stood, the firelight flickering in their eyes, and they felt something within them begin to shift. The shadows of their past, once so heavy and consuming, no longer seemed so powerful. The Creator's love was stronger, and it was this love that would guide them forward. Do not be afraid to move forward, the Creator whispered. The road ahead is not always easy, but I will walk with you. I will guide you. And as you walk, remember that you are not defined by what has happened to you, but by who I have called you to be. You are my child, and that is enough. The listener nodded slowly, a sense of peace settling deep in their heart. They had spent so much time looking back, trying to fix what was broken, trying to make sense of their mistakes. But now they understood that the true healing came not from looking back, but from walking forward in the love and purpose the Creator had given them. The night sky stretched out above them, a vast expanse of stars that seemed to stretch on forever. And as the listener gazed up at the stars, they felt a deep sense of connection, not just to the land, but to the Creator, who had been with them through it all. The Creator had called them for a purpose, and that purpose was not defined by their past, but by the love that surrounded them. With each step they took, they were moving toward that purpose, and that was all they needed to know. The past no longer had a hold on them. They were free to walk forward, free to embrace the future, free to become the person the Creator had always intended them to be. And as they stood there in the quiet of the night, they knew that they were not alone. The Creator's love was with them, and that love would always be the guiding light on their journey ahead. The past was behind them, and the future was waiting, full of hope, full of purpose, and full of the love that had always been theirs. The soft hum of the wind passed through the tall grass, swaying gently in the evening light. The listener sat on a stone by the river, their gaze fixed on the flowing water, watching it glide over rocks and roots, moving steadily forward despite the obstacles it encountered. They had been walking for so long, it seemed, but the path ahead still felt uncertain. They had done all they could, yet the progress seemed slow, as if the journey was not moving fast enough. Doubt crept into their heart, questioning whether they were truly on the right path or if they had somehow fallen behind. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a warm glow across the land, the voice of the Creator spoke softly, like the rustling of the leaves. My child, the Creator's voice said, I see your weariness, I feel your struggles. You have traveled long and far, but remember this, growth takes time. Just as the seed must wait beneath the earth before it can sprout, so must you wait and trust in the time that is unfolding. The listener closed their eyes, hearing the wisdom in the Creator's words. They had often wished for their growth to happen more quickly, for the answers to come sooner, but now they understood this was a journey, not a race. You are not behind, the Creator continued. The world may rush, and others may seem to move faster, but remember, their journey is not yours. I have placed you on a path that is perfect for you, and you are exactly where you need to be. Trust in the process, trust in my timing. The work I am doing in you is deep and quiet, like the roots of the tree that spread beneath the ground before the branches ever reach the sky. The listener felt the weight of these words in their heart. It had always been hard for them to trust in the slow pace of growth, but the Creator's voice was clear. What mattered was not speed, but steady, purposeful movement. You see, my child, the Creator spoke again, the river does not rush. It moves at its own pace, carving out the land with each passing day, not hurried, but persistent. The trees do not grow overnight, but with patience. Their roots take hold, their trunks rise, and their branches stretch toward the sky. It may seem like nothing is happening, but beneath the surface, the change is constant. You are growing even when it feels like you are standing still. The listener looked down at the river, watching how the water flowed gently, never in haste, yet always moving forward. They realized that their own journey was no different. It may have been slow, but it was still progress. You are right where you need to be, the Creator reassured. There is no need to compare yourself to others. Their paths are not your paths. You have been given a unique journey, one that will bring you to the place I have prepared for you. Do not rush, for my timing is perfect. The moments of stillness, the times when you feel like nothing is changing, are as important as the times of great movement. You are not behind. You are simply being prepared for the next step in your journey. The listener took a deep breath, feeling the peace of the Creator's words sink into their soul. For the first time, they allowed themselves to accept that they did not need to be in a hurry. The wind whispered through the trees, and the stars began to appear one by one in the darkening sky. Do not fear the pace of your growth, the Creator's voice said softly. You are not in a race. Your steps are measured by my hands, and I know exactly when and where you are to go. Every moment, every step, every pause has its purpose. The quiet spaces, the moments of waiting, are where I teach you to trust. Trust in the quiet. Trust in the waiting. Trust in the unfolding of your journey, for it is perfectly timed, just as the earth turns at the right moment to bring the dawn. The listener nodded, the weight of their worries lifting as they felt the truth in the Creator's words. They had always been so focused on moving forward quickly, on reaching the next milestone, but now they understood that the journey itself was as important as the destination. They did not need to rush through the seasons of their life. They only needed to trust that each season was a step towards something greater, something perfect in the Creator's eyes. Rest in my timing, the Creator said. Rest in the knowing that I am with you, guiding you, and everything is unfolding as it should. When the time is right, the next step will appear. You do not have to force it. Just walk, and I will lead you. As the stars twinkled above, the listener felt a sense of calm wash over them. They had been so caught up in their desire for progress that they had forgotten to embrace the present moment. But now, they felt the Creator's presence in the stillness, in the waiting. They were not behind, they were right on time. With each step they took, they were growing, even when they could not see it. The road ahead was still unknown, but they now walked it with faith, trusting that the Creator's timing would lead them to where they were meant to be. And so, as the fire flickered and the night deepened, the listeners stood and turned their gaze toward the horizon, where the first light of dawn would soon break through the darkness. They were not in a hurry. They were not behind. They were exactly where they needed to be. And with each step, they would trust in the perfect timing of the Creator, knowing that growth, like the river and the trees, was not about rushing, but about steady, purposeful progress. The night was quiet, save for the soft rustling of the wind through the trees. The listener sat beneath a vast sky, the stars flickering like tiny beacons of light above. There was a peace in the air, but also a stirring in their heartened, unspoken yearning, a question that had lingered for many moons. For some time now, the listener had been troubled by visions that came in the stillness of the night. Some were filled with vivid colors, others with faces they did not recognize, and still, others were full of feelings and whispers too deep for words. The dreams seemed to carry meaning, but they were unsure of what it all meant. Were these dreams simply the workings of the mind, or were they messages from the Creator? As they sat there in the quiet, the voice of the Creator spoke, gentle yet powerful, like the earth beneath their feet. My child, the Creator said, I have placed my spirit within you, and it is through my spirit that you will find understanding. You are not meant to walk in this world without discernment. I have given you the ability to see beyond the surface, to feel the deeper truths hidden in the world around you. These dreams you have, they are not mere fragments of your mind, but assignments I have placed before you. The listener's heart began to race as they heard these words. The dreams were not random. They were not something to ignore. They were messages, assignments, gifts from the Creator. Trust in the dreams I give you, the Creator continued. I do not speak to you in the waking world alone, for I also speak through your dreams. These are the moments when your spirit is free, when your heart is open, and I can pour into you the wisdom that your mind cannot yet comprehend. Do not dismiss them. Do not fear them. These dreams are the key to the purpose I have set for you. They are not fleeting. They are not to be forgotten. They are assignments I am giving you guidance, visions of what is to come, and paths I have set for you to walk. The listener's heart stirred with new understanding. For so long, they had pushed their dreams aside, thinking them to be nothing more than the workings of their mind or fleeting thoughts. But now, they saw the truth in the Creator's words. These dreams were not distractions, but messages, divine instructions from the Creator's hand. You are not alone in these dreams, the Creator continued. I am with you as you sleep, as you rest, and I speak to you in the quiet places of your spirit. I show you glimpses of what lies ahead, of the paths you must walk, and the wisdom you must carry. I do this so that you will be prepared, so that you will move in alignment with my will. The listener felt a deep sense of peace wash over them. The Creator's presence was with them, not just in the waking world, but in the quiet spaces of their dreams. My child, the Creator said softly, you are not meant to walk blindly in this world. You are meant to walk with eyes open, heart full, and spirit alive. The dreams I give you are not just for understanding, but for action. They are assignments. I call you to follow them, to trust in them, to walk the path they reveal. When you awake from these dreams, take what I have shown you and step forward with courage. The listener closed their eyes for a moment, feeling the warmth of the Creator's presence around them, like the embrace of the earth beneath their feet. They thought back to the dreams they had dismissed, the ones they had been too afraid to follow. Perhaps now they understood the truth. These dreams were not meant to be ignored, but embraced. The Creator had placed them within their heart for a reason, and it was time to walk in faith. You are the keeper of these dreams, the Creator whispered. Do not let fear silence them. Do not let doubt steal your courage. These dreams are part of my plan for you, and through them, I will lead you to where I need you to be. Trust in what you have seen, and step forward with the knowing that I walk with you. You have within you the discernment to understand my will, and I have given you the strength to follow it. The listener took a deep breath, their spirit lightening with the realization that they were not alone in their journey. The Creator's presence was within them, guiding them through every dream, every vision, every step of the way. I am with you always, the Creator's voice said, not just in the waking world, but in the realm of dreams. You need not fear the unknown, for I am showing you the way, and I will walk with you every step you take. The listener opened their eyes and gazed up at the stars, feeling a deep sense of connection to the Creator. They understood now that the dreams were not to be feared or dismissed, but embraced as sacred gifts. These dreams were assignments guides to lead them on the path the Creator had set before them. With each dream, they would move closer to the purpose they were meant to fulfill. And with each step, they would trust in the Creator's guidance, knowing that their spirit, guided by the Creator's love, would always lead them in the right direction. The listener sat by the fire, the flames flickering before them, casting shadows on the earth. The night was heavy, thick with the quiet of the world resting beneath the stars. But within the listener's heart, there was a storm. Doubt swirled like a gathering storm cloud, and unanswered prayers hung in the air like unspoken words. The weight of their worries pressed down upon them, and their spirit felt heavy, as if the path ahead had grown too dark to follow. Tears welled in their eyes as they thought of all the prayers they had sent into the silence, all the cries for help that had seemed to go unheard. It felt as though they were walking alone in a world that didn't understand their pain. And then, as the wind whispered through the trees, a soft voice called to them, warm and familiar, like the embrace of the earth itself. My child, the Creator said, I know your heart, I see your tears, and I hear every prayer, even the ones you think I have not answered. You are not alone, even in your doubts, even in your struggles. I am with you. I have not forgotten you. The listener's heart trembled at the sound of the Creator's voice. The storm within them began to settle, as if the Creator's words were the steadying hand they had been longing for. Though your prayers may feel unanswered, the Creator continued, know that I am always here. I see the path you walk, even when it feels like you are lost. Your doubts, your fears, and your pain are not too much for me to bear. I hold them in my hands, and I will comfort you in the deepest places of your soul. You are never alone, even in the silence, even when the road ahead feels uncertain. The listener closed their eyes, letting the Creator's words wash over them. The comfort in those words filled the spaces where fear and uncertainty had once lived. Your tears are not forgotten. The Creator spoke with compassion. They are not lost in the darkness. I see each one, and I hold them in my heart. There is no pain that is too great for my love to reach. I am the one who brings healing to your brokenness. I will protect you, even when you do not see the way forward, even when you cannot feel my presence. My love is constant. It does not waver, and it will never leave you. The listener felt the weight of these words, the promise of the Creator's unending love, and for the first time in a long while, they felt a deep sense of peace settle within. Even in your doubts, you are not abandoned, the Creator continued. Even when you cannot see the answers, even when the prayers seem to hang in the air unanswered, know that I am here. My love is not dependent on the answers you seek or the speed at which things unfold. My love is not bound by time or circumstance. It is eternal, and it is always with you. When you feel alone, when you feel lost, remember that I walk with you. I have always walked with you. The listener's breath caught in their chest as they felt the truth of these words settle deeply into their heart. The Creator was with them, even in their moments of doubt, and this love, this constant presence, was the foundation upon which they could stand. You are my child, and I will always be with you. The Creator spoke with tender assurance. My love does not change, even in the quiet moments, even in the waiting. You do not need to see the whole path, nor do you need to understand every step. What you need is to trust in my love, for it is enough to carry you through. I will protect you when you feel vulnerable, and I will comfort you when your heart aches. I will carry you when you are too weary to take another step. The listener felt the truth of these words in the depths of their soul, a peace that surpassed their understanding, filling the spaces of their being. As the fire crackled and the night deepened, the listener felt a renewed sense of strength. The storm within them had calmed, and the doubts that had clouded their mind began to fade. The Creator's love was not something that could be measured or seen. It was something to be felt, something that went beyond understanding. It was a love that was constant, steady, and unwavering, and it was this love that would guide them through the darkest of times. Trust in my love, child, the Creator whispered. When you cannot find the words, when you cannot see the answers, know that my love is enough. It is the light that will guide you through the darkness, the warmth that will keep you through the cold. You are never alone. You are always in my embrace, always held in my care. The listener took a deep breath, feeling the weight of their burdens lift. They did not need to carry the weight of their doubts, their unanswered prayers, or their fears alone. The Creator was with them, always. With each passing moment, the listener felt the comfort of the Creator's presence, the assurance of their protection, and the certainty of His love. They were no longer defined by their struggles or their pain. They were defined by the love that surrounded them, a love that would never fail, no matter what storms they faced. The road ahead was still uncertain, but now they walked it with a heart full of peace, knowing that the Creator's love was with them, constant and true, every step of the way. The moon hung high in the sky, casting its soft light over the quiet valley. The listener sat alone by the riverbank, gazing into the flowing waters. Their heart was heavy, weighed down by fears and uncertainties that seemed too great to bear. The path ahead was unclear, and with each step, doubt and fear crept deeper into their spirit. They had faced many struggles, and the journey seemed longer than they had ever imagined. In the stillness of the night, they asked the Creator for guidance, for comfort, and for strength. As if in answer to their plea, a gentle voice spoke from the winds that stirred the trees. My child, the Creator's voice was soft but strong, like the sound of the river's current. You are not alone. I am your strength and your protector. You are safe in my care, and no harm will come to you while you walk in my love. The listener's heart stirred as they felt the words wrap around them like a protective cloak. The weight of their doubts began to lift, as if the Creator's words had cut through the darkness like the dawn's first light. You are not defined by the struggles you face, the Creator continued, nor by the fear that sometimes fills your heart. You are defined by my love, a love that is unchanging, constant, and eternal. My love will never fail you, no matter how difficult the path ahead may seem. The listener took a deep breath, feeling the warmth of these words settle within. They had been searching for strength in the wrong places, but now they understood the strength they needed was found in the Creator's love. And in that love, they would find the courage to keep moving forward. Trust in my love, the Creator whispered, for it will guide you through every storm. When you feel weak, I will be your strength. When you feel lost, I will be your guide. You are never far from my embrace. I hold you in my heart, and I will protect you through every trial you face. Trust in me, for I am with you always, and nothing can separate you from my love. The listener felt a deep sense of peace wash over them. The fears that had plagued them seemed distant now, replaced by the unshakable certainty that they were safe in the Creator's care. The moon shone brightly overhead, casting a gentle glow on the earth below. The listener stood and looked around at the world around them, the tall trees, the flowing river, the vast sky above. They felt a renewed sense of purpose, knowing that they were never alone. The Creator's presence was with them, guiding them, protecting them, and providing them with the strength they needed. They no longer needed to fear the unknown, for they knew that the Creator's love would always lead them safely through. You are not defined by your fears, nor by the struggles you face. The Creator's voice spoke once more. You are defined by the love I have for you, and in that love you are strong. Trust in me, and you will find peace. Trust in my love, and you will never be alone. The listener closed their